Hello, thanks for tuning in and welcome to the pool party. I hope you can swim because we're definitely diving into the deep end with a huge splash of truth, facts, evidence, information, and proof. Swim. Say what you mean. It's talk about talking. How we listen, how we hear, how we speak, how we hear what we're listening to when we speak, how a listener hears what we're saying, if what we're saying, what they're actually hearing and or understanding. Is it clear? Swim. Say what you mean. Well, that's just the beginning of understanding, because after we get that understanding, how do we accept it? How we respond if it's not what we expect is paramount. Are you okay with the truth? Are you man, woman, human, or spiritual enough to accept the truth? Let's find out.
Let's do it.
Welcome to The Swimming Pool with your host, Travis Bridges.
Bam! What's happening, everybody? How you doing? How you been, my friend? Woo! It's Wednesday. Hump Day! Yeah. And this is the swimming pool. SWYMING pool. You know what I'm saying, man? It's time to swim. Let's dive in deep. I'm not going to be long tonight. I canned a portion that I'm going to run in just a few minutes. And I have a guest that just went into the stove and said that it wouldn't take long, and if they got out the stove before I did my intro, that they would, go on with me. Otherwise, I'm like, look, this train ain't waiting for nobody. We got places to go, things to do, people to see, and other stops to make. With that being said, accountability. You lying. I remember my oldest brother telling me one time, the punishment for a liar and a thief is that they don't trust anybody else. I was a young boy when he said that. I'm a grown man, and I'm just now really getting what he meant by that. I think one of the worst things that you can do is just flat out lie. Don't get me wrong. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has lied about something at some point in time, including maybe me. Maybe I might have lied about something. But I'm going to go ahead and tell the truth. I'm going to say in the past 20 and some change years, I've been keeping it clean. Now, let's talk about what lying is. If something ain't your business and I don't tell you, or I choose not to tell you, I ain't lying to you. But if I lie on you, or if I lie about you, or if I accuse you of something, I think that's the lying, that's bad. There's no good lie. Maybe there is. Is there a good lie? If I tell you something that saves your life and it's not true and you live, then maybe that's what you call a good lie. I'm going to leave it right there. But we're not talking about that. Let's not, measure hairs, okay? Split hairs. I think that's what it's called. So what I'm talking about right now is, let's just say, if you are in a car crash and you are not hurt, but then you let somebody tell you, you can go to the doctor a whole bunch of times, and a whole bunch of times they can build up some kind of case or something, and you can get money if you just be hurt enough. Ain't nothing wrong with you. And then you go through that whole process, wearing the thing around your neck, limping, trying to pretend you're hurt, and then you get you what they call a lawsuit money, and you go and spend that and live your life knowing that you jacked somebody because you lied. That is not good. It's not nice. And you know what? The law allows you to do that. The law allows you to lie, cheat, and steal and gain from it. But the ultimate judge will get you, in the right season and time. So I'm just going to say, I think it's amazing that, people do a lot of dirt when they're young, and when they get old, they try to want to start telling people, what they ought to do and what they should do and should not do. I'm going to try to leave it like that. What's another bold-faced lie? Or like I said in the beginning, when you just lie on somebody. If I say you did something and you did, let's just say I'm in authority, and I don't mean to talk about no police officers, but you've heard it many times before, how a police officer will actually plant something illegal on someone, like paraphernalia of some kind, and then say they did it, like maybe a weapon or some illegal, substance or something. That's just wrong, man. Well, how are you going to do that? And then just go right on home and go to sleep and just call yourself resting good. That ain't right. How about this one? You tell somebody you're going to do something, and then you just don't do it. And then you go and hide and don't say nothing, don't call them. Or you done did something wrong to somebody, and then you won't even face them. Or you'll put somebody else up to do it, or send them a text message or something. You won't just say, hey, listen, I can't do it, but this is when I'm going to do it. Or I'm going to do it. Or then you say, okay, I want to do it this time. And it's, 50 years later and you ain't done nothing. That kind of stuff. I must be getting old, because maybe in my younger days I thought I was okay with that, but it just doesn't sit well with me now. I think my guest is going to be available. This is going to prolong my time, but I'm going to make it real quick. I'm going to see if she's going to be able to holler at me. Okay. Thank you for your patience.
Hello?
Hey, come on, man. You have to talk up a little more than that. You're live.
Hello.
Okay. So we're going to be real quick. I did an intro, and my topic is called accountability. And it's talking about lying. People who lie. Okay. And I was talking the difference between either, I think in church, Sunday school, they used to call it omission and commission. The pastor used to say commission, but what he meant was commission. Things that you commit and things that you omit. So if I fail to tell you something, and I know I probably should have told you, I'm lying. Or if I actually commit and I actually do something, that's a different thing. So let's just say, for instance, if I choose not to tell you something that ain't none of your business, am I wrong? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, not talking about that. But what if I lie on you? What if I say you did something and you didn't do it? What about that?
Oh, that's not very nice. That's wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong. Okay, so give me your spiel. I'm not going to let you go. I have a canned thing that I did earlier. I'm going to put it on. It's pretty cool. I was feeling a little funky earlier, and I thought I was going to be feeling worse, but actually I'm feeling a little better now. I had a little head cold, man. You know how you just burn the candle at both ends and, you get jacked, and it's like, I think you need to sit down for about 4.5 days, and then about 3.5 more days to think about what you should have done before I put you down for 3 or 4 days. That's what I'm on. I'm on like that 5th day of resurrection here. But anyway, here's what I want you to do. Tell me your thoughts about people who can do you wrong and then go hide somewhere and then prolong or lie about it, or just keep being a devil. Tell me your thoughts, and then I'm gonna let you go. Well, first of all, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Just okay?
I'm hanging in there. I'm just okay right now.
Okay.
But that's okay. That's okay.
All right, I'm gonna say hey to Christine. Hey, we'll talk about whatever that is because I know you well enough to know maybe we need to get off the air and talk about that. But anyway, as we move along, tell me about, what are your thoughts about a bold-faced liar?
Well, I don't like it. I don't like it when somebody lies to me right to my face as if I'm an idiot, right? That boils my skin. And I had an episode with my nephew he lied right to my face. And he almost lost his life. Because, I'd rather you just tell the truth. You got to take responsibility for that. Even if you made a mistake, just tell the truth, but don't lie about it. But, so often we have that whole, what is that thing? We got different kind of lies. It's like a white lie. Is that really a lie?
A black lie. A white lie.
Or because we didn't say it, we didn't tell you, but we should have. Is that really a lie? And, everybody has their own way of interpretation of what is a lie. But at the end of the day, I try my personal best not to lie. But at times I do. Sometimes it just comes out. You know what I'm saying? You could be having a conversation with somebody about whatever, and you don't want to tell them. So maybe you lie. And it may be something simple as you're on the phone and you're talking to someone and they say, they call you, you'd be like, I can't talk right now because I'm on the phone with so-and-so. But maybe you're on the phone, but not on the phone with so-and-so, but you're on the phone. But you don't want to tell them because maybe they might feel some kind of way, protecting their feelings or whatever.
Yeah.
Those BS kind of lies.
Okay, so hold on. Let me just jump back to something real quick. Your nephew is probably young, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Kids usually do until they get like within an inch of their lives, as you just said, you almost did. They will try to pull that if they think they can get away with it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about grown, accountable folks in positions of, let me say, people that should be accountable. Adults. I'm not talking about kids. That was not the best example. I'm going to let you slide with it, though, for the sake of time. But I'm talking about grown people.
Okay.
And I'm not listen, hold on a second. Listen, I want to be the first one to say, okay, I'm not perfect. Now, there's a couple of things that I kind of did and I had to, give an account for it. And it wasn't a lie. It was maybe just like something I just kind of, slid by and did. But you know what? Those are the kind of people.
What is that?
Huh?
What the hell is that you just said?
Huh?
It wasn't a lie. It was something I slid by. What the hell are you talking
Okay, wait. Well,
about?
let me try to explain it. Well, I was supposed to include something on a particular form that I didn't include because it just wasn't convenient at the time, and it didn't quite work out in my favor. But here's the thing. I had to give an account for it, and I did. And I'm just going to leave that right there. And that's just where I'm going to leave it. So I wasn't 100%, on point with that. And that was a long time ago, though. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about, two people, like you and me. Or like, let's just say I have a business. Well, I mean, come on, man. I'm not trying to single anybody out and saying I don't, how
Everybody lies. Everybody. Even the people who be in the church on Sunday, who say they try not to, everybody lies in some shape or way or form. Now, the lies they may do may not impact anybody's lives, may not do anything, but everybody does. Or it might be something big. I had a cousin, I do taxes. I had a cousin who was, damn near minister in the church, but he didn't want to pay the taxes. So he was like, do this, do that. But he's so holier than thou. But that's a form of lying, right?
Why are you going to put him out there like that?
What?
Why are you going to put him out there like that?
Whatever, because he was lying. Everybody lies in some shape or form, even you go to the store and they be like, I don't know, I had to pick up something from my sister. I'm not my sister, but I'm going to pick it up. They're not going to question me. It's like, hey, you're so-and-so? Yeah. Can I pick this up? They give it to me. I walk out the door. I was lying, but they asked me who I was. I told them. They didn't question it, right? Because it wasn't in an atmosphere of why somebody would come in to pick up something for someone else. You know, if I'm giving them the information, I know the product is there for me. I was lying, but did it hurt anybody? Did it hurt anything? No. So I'm saying everybody does. Everybody.
Okay, so then what am I on to? What am I on to? What am I talking about? You're
talking about the lies that hurt somebody else.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm talking about.
Right. You're talking about lies that affect someone else and somebody getting their feelings about it because they were lied to. They were hurt.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm talking about.
Even if it was intentional or non-intentional.
Right. But things that affect people's lives. So okay. Right. Oh, I gave the example this, and I have to go. I gave the example about people that get in a car accident and they grab their neck because they know that the law allows them to lie and gain from that. What about that? Is that wrong? Yes or no?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's wrong that if you find something and you know, I had this situation with my nephew, found a phone. Well, you know, grown people say you can't find nothing, right? It belongs to somebody. And he was like, well, why can't I keep it? I said, because it's not yours. And he said, but I found it. I said, but what if you lost your phone? Wouldn't you want somebody to turn it in?
Okay, I can only imagine how the rest of that went, and I think that's where I'm going to allow us to take a left right here. I think what I'm talking about.
Stealing, lying, I don't know.
I think what I'm talking about is when it affects you, and I think that's what that's the note I'm gonna go on. I think what I'm talking about here is, okay, yes, we all may stretch here or there, or may not reveal something, but when it affects us directly, that's when it's not so cool, especially when someone is doing it to us. Like your nephew, he said, I found it. And then you said, what if you lost your phone? I could imagine how happy he would be if someone knocked on his door and said, we were able to track this phone to you, and here it is. Here's your, $1,500 phone that we know you just got. He would probably be happy, but somewhere in his heart and his mind, he couldn't find that to reason with. But I'm sure you were a good parenting, figure, and you helped him to realize that. And I guess that's the point I'm making. When we affect someone else's lives, then maybe we should think a little more about it, especially if we continue to just keep doing it,
Absolutely. And the omission is where a lot of people get their feelings hurt, or where a lot of people rationalize the behavior because they didn't say, well, I didn't say it, but not saying, just because you didn't say it doesn't mean it's not a lie.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. You always be there for me when I need you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a short break, and I'm going to come back with my canned version of accountability and, just being more accountable. Something that I saw, on social media today, and it just snagged my eyes. I couldn't stop. And I was like, okay, I think I'm going to talk about that as a part of my therapy session. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. You know what to do. Find somebody you need to say I love you to. Don't just say it, but mean it. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. We're going to talk soon.
I love you, Daddy. Good night.
All right. Good night. I'll catch you later.
All right. Bye.
Mighty Horn Music. Smooth jazz, top 40, R&B, inspirationals, and more. Live from the Hollywood Home Studio. Like, share, subscribe. And thanks for tuning in.
Good evening and welcome to SWIM, SWYM. That is the acronym for Say What You Mean. I am your host, Travis Bridges, and I promise you I am going to be quick tonight. If you are a first-time viewer and or listener, I would like to say that this live stream is simply talk about talking. It's therapy for me personally, and it involves bringing awareness to how we listen, how we hear, whether or not we pay attention to what we're saying, speaking, and actually hearing, just communicating in general with another person or a group of people. Oftentimes in communication sort of gets lost because we listen sometimes with our heart, with our head, and even with our mouths. And I just want to bring awareness to how that can definitely bring about chaos, as well as how being aware of that can resolve some chaos situations. So with that being said, I want to talk specifically about a subject regarding accountability. That's going to be my topic for tonight. And I remember my first bout with accountability. And I'm calling it a bout for lack of a better word. But I remember when I wanted to go to law school, I remember thinking, this is going to be easy. This is going to be simple, because if you present information, truth, facts, and evidence, how can you ever be wrong? What's so hard about that? If you're ever wrong and you're discovered wrong, then you just hold out your hands and say, okay, do what you're going to do. But I didn't think it would be difficult at all. Well, I went 4 years to college, and I did get my Bachelor of Science degree in criminal justice, and I was off and headed to law school. Of course, life happened, and I took the easy route and decided I would not go to law school. It wasn't because I was quitting. It's just my life situation demanded my attention more than going to school, so I just put it off, and eventually I said, okay, I don't think I want to do this anymore, and I just left the thought alone at all. But I remember having a conversation in particular with an attorney, and just saying to this attorney that, hey, I was interested in going to law school. I was very young. This was in like 90 or something like that. And I remember saying to the attorney that I wanted to go to law school, and she was like asking me, why would you want to do that? And I was explaining to her, my revelation of common sense. And I remember her energy. The phone conversation happened. Well, the conversation happened on the phone. And I remember her energy saying to me, it's just not that easy. And of course, I don't want to say I didn't believe her, but I was just determined to not be talked off of that meat wagon. I really wanted to pursue that because I thought I would be good at listening and hearing. Even back then, long before SWIM, I thought that I had developed, the ability to listen, hear, pay attention, and be consistent with what it is I'm saying and what I'm meaning. And somehow she was trying to say to me that it's just not that easy, because people will do this and people will do that, and you're going to discover this and you're going to discover that, and so many things she was saying to me. And part of me was like, is she hating on me? And of course she was not hating on me. She was just forewarning me that what I had predetermined in my mind as how I thought, law school would be, easy for me, and, me becoming an attorney and litigating and I guess arguing even, was not the way I had planned it out in my head. Well, of course, I went on for my 4 years of, for my bachelor's degree and was heading to law school. But as I said, it didn't work out. I kind of sort of see what she's, was saying then. And it really does have to do with reliability, dependability, accountability, truth. If a person is not truthful, you are going to have a run for your money. If a person is a liar, you're going to have even more of a run. If a person is definitely trying to use the law to their advantage and they are good at that, it's going to be tough. And those are all different scenarios where you, as a, I guess, innocent green young buck like me, I had no clue what I was getting into, but of course life, continued. And I could see that along the way in life outside of the courtroom. But I just, also heard of many cases, over the years of how the law and the truth are really not, the same, and how, it's not, how the thing goes in the movie. It's what you can prove. It's not what you, something.
You got one problem though, Jake. You got no witnesses. Who your fucking witnesses, huh? Roger? Smiley? You think my troops are gonna help you? It's not what you know. It's what you can prove.
It has to do with presenting the law. And I really get that now, and I found it out the hard way. The truth has its perks. The truth is always, the light. The truth is always going to surface. The truth is always going to eventually come out. We've seen it many times. It takes a long time, but it's like a balloon, underwater. It will eventually come up when, the hand gets weak, or time, or whatever. However, there is a way of presenting the truth with law that works in the judicial system. And I'm just kind of speaking from a layman's perspective, because I studied criminal justice. I did not study law, and I don't know much about law at all, other than the few experiences that I've had and that I've heard about. But my point is this: by the way, I'm just getting over a little stuffy head cold congestion. So if I sound a little bit like Barry White, that's why. So, please work with me, and, be forgiving of the frog that's in my throat. I feel a whole lot better, man. The first couple of days was crazy. In terms of my eyes, just, the pressure, but I still continue to do my regular life, working out and all that. But now I'm pretty much on the other side of what happens when you run yourself too much, stay up a little too late, burn the candle at both ends and the middle. Life will say, hey, slow down. So I've slowed down, and I'm now trying to catch up a little bit. But back to my point. Presenting the truth by way of how the law is constructed within the judicial system requires intelligence. And, just like anyone else can have a gift, a skill, or a talent, gifts, skills, and talents can also be corrupt. And honesty, I'm never going to speak against it, but I'm discovering that the truth really, unless you have some skill on how to present the truth, you might have to go through your cross experience and just wait for, the truth to surface. In many cases, many people that I know of, even right now, dealing with situations where, the truth doesn't matter, because you have skilled professionals who know the law. They know the back streets. They know the corners. They know the edges. They know how to squeak by certain things and make things happen, even against the truth. Someone can present law on top of truth, and I've seen it happen. I like to, reference this case, the Central Park Five. I have to talk about those boys, because they looked like me, and they represented me in many kind of ways. The law kind of found a way to convict them. Of course, the truth eventually came out, and there are tons of cases. I'm going to reference, Brian Banks again. Things happened within the law that, he didn't stand a chance, and, he was truthful. But the point I'm making is, being accountable has a lot to do with getting to and through situations. I read something I'm going to share today. It's probably going to be my thumbnail if I can get it. It says, mishandling people, then avoiding communication is not protecting your peace. It's avoiding accountability. Of course, there were several things I was going, to talk about. But when I saw this today, I was like, whoa, that's cool. People will treat you a certain kind of way, and then they will either hide behind the law or just avoid you altogether, or put somebody else out front to speak just so that they don't have to stand face to face to you and be accountable for themselves, their words, their deeds, and their actions. And of course, it's not right and it's not fair. And, it happens. And that's just what I want to talk about. That's what's on my mind. Accountability, not just within the justice system or the legal system, but just in everyday life. If you tell somebody you're going to be somewhere at 7:30 and 7:30 rolls around and they don't hear from you until after 8:30 or 9 with, oh, I'm sorry, or what happened was this, that's not being accountable. That's not being considerate or respectful of someone's time. If you tell somebody you're going to be somewhere at 2 o'clock and it's after 3 and you're just reaching out to them, that's not cool. And, I guess me in particular, sometimes I really wish my mother, was still here, because she is someone who knew her son very well. I could see now where she knew me better than I knew myself when I was younger. And she used to tell me often, son, being good or being a good person is not always going to be in your favor. And, she was yet right again. When you know better, you're supposed to do better. And I recall a time in my life when I said, okay, I've made some mistakes. I haven't been perfect, but now that I know better, I'm definitely going to start doing better. And I'm going to say over the last 15 or 20 years or so, and I'm going to also name drop my former pastor, Bishop Isaiah S. Williams Jr., had, a way about him that had to do with reliability and accountability. And I watched that in him, and it rubbed off on me like a good stench, and again, I'm not trying to claim to be like him in any kind of way, but I remember his ways, having some coolness about yourself. What is the word I'm looking for? Ethics. Your yes should be yes, and your no should be your no. And if you make a mistake, don't hide. Don't lie. Don't string people along. Don't do that. And if you do, I guess maybe, you'll get what's coming to you. But I'm just here to remind us all, including myself, to just know that not everybody is good. And although we try to find the good in everybody, when we encounter these situations, diverse temptations, I think that's what it's called, we have to remember to continue to be strong, be steadfast, remain firm, hold on, trust, and believe that no matter, first of all, how long you've traveled down the wrong path, turn back. But if you are traveling down the right path and you are doing the right thing, it's just a matter of time before your day and your time is going to come. And that's just how I'm going to end. I didn't know where, how this was going to end up. But I just kind of want to leave it there, doing right, doing the right thing. And then I just want to say this too, because I was thinking of this, while I was preparing. I'm about to have another cough attack for a few minutes. So if I do, just bear with me. Being good is good overall, but it will not find you favor, with the general public. Because here's something that I've realized. If you're good, many people will like you, but there will be most people who will not like you, because most people try to be good, but everyone doesn't have the discipline to do what it takes to be good. And I'm saying good, not good as in best, but I mean good as in, not bad, being a good person. And I'm going to talk about Jesus Christ. He was a good dude, and he got busted, for being good. And that spirit still lives, within people. If you're a good person and you do good deeds, don't always expect good to come back. Not that karma is not alive, and not that seed and harvest, you reap what you sow. Not that that doesn't work, but just don't expect it to be easy. You will have Gethsemane experiences and cross experiences. But here's something that I will go ahead and stand by. Regardless, I think it was Job who said, although he slay me, I will trust. I will say this to you, and then I will close. Regardless of what you're going through, you have to know you're doing the right thing. I'll never forget my mother telling me about, the schoolhouse experience. She would always say, I'll stand by you, if you do what I tell you to do, if you listen to me. But if I ever have to come out to that schoolhouse and you prove me to be a liar, it's going to be double trouble on you. And I'm going to take that as good parenting. If you're doing the right thing, good will eventually find its place in your space. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of my own self-therapy sessions. I do have a therapist that I check in with occasionally and regularly, and occasionally, not necessarily in that order. But with that being said, stay strong, keep your head up. Dark clouds may arise, but the sun is still shining. And as sure as if there is a storm, the sun will shine again for you. Okay? Find someone you need to say I love you to. Don't just say it, but mean it and show it. Okay? Have a good night.
SWYM. Say what you mean. As much as this information is designed to bring awareness to how we listen, hear, and process, it is also a form of therapy. The little person inside of all of us needs to be heard. As adults, even listening to ourselves is a form of healing, strengthening, and growth. It's okay to speak, talk, express yourself, and be heard, even if you're the only listener. If our testimony does anything at all for anyone else, that makes the continued effort worth the time. Get the words out. You'll feel better, and that's a promise. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
Sometimes it seems like all the good times are gone. But you got to keep on searching. You got to keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. For example, take me standing right here today. I would not be here with you if I believed the things that the people say. You got to keep on searching. Keep on searching. Keep it on the cool side. Keep it on the cool side. Keep on looking around.
All right, what I'm going to do now is go watch whatever this stuff is happening on TV, this political stuff. Anyway, y'all have a good rest of the week. Loves ya.